Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto and his brigades are terrified as we speak. Raila Odinga is showing signs that he's serious with his rallies, the consultation rallies, which is going to hold in Nairobi on the 7th and on the 12th day of December. And I want to ask you this simple question. What do you think is running in the mind of William Ruto as we speak today? For me, I think what is running in his mind is that particular rally. The other day, William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza were telling Kenyans how Raila Odinga should let Winnie and how he should let Junior, Oburu, and Ruth Odinga to lead the demonstrations. Today, Raila Odinga was in Embakasi East, UTAWALA. And the turnout in those rallies has actually shocked William Samoei Arap Ruto. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why William Ruto is actually worried after the rally today. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now, I was going through Facebook and a gentleman made some interesting post that when Raila Odinga was tortured, tormented, and detained without trial, his children were not there. And nobody actually asked for his children to be produced. He's also saying that when Raila fought for the second liberation or multipartyism, his children were not there. Most of them could not even access education system in the country. Nobody, Ruto never bothered to ask where they were. He's also saying when Raila Odinga gave Kenyans the new constitution, his children were not there. Nobody asked where they were. And is then asking, why is Raila Odinga children a factor right now? In fact, this guy is continuing that when Raila fought for devolution and formulated policies that Kenyans are enjoying today, his children were not there. Now Raila is calling for Kamukunji to stop dictatorial government. We don't need his biological children around, just like before when he sacrificed his life for this nation. Now, the reason I'm reading for you that is that majority of Raila Odinga supporters are ready and willing to go to the streets because they are saying that they can't see and watch, they can't sit down and watch Kenya being taken back to the dark days. And William Ruto is basically in a dilemma. Why am I saying so? William Ruto told Kenyans that he would want a situation where there is a vibrant opposition. What Raila Odinga is currently organizing is basically a vibrant opposition. But that vibrant opposition is also not good for William Ruto. So the question which Ruto is being asked is what kind of opposition does he really want? Is it him to determine the kind of opposition the opposition leaders should actually provide to his government? So he is in that particular dilemma. But the rally today has shocked Kenya Kwanza. Why? Number one is the message which Raila Odinga is promising. Now, let me just take you to Raila Odinga Facebook page because I don't intend really to edit this video. Let me just go to Raila Odinga's Facebook page. He posted this after the rally that we know what they did, how they did it, and who helped them do it. We shall reveal all that shortly. Our meeting this coming Wednesday will proceed as planned. Tukutane Kamukunji. Asanteni sana UTAWALA. And if you check that post, the attendance to that rally was massive. So basically, based on what Raila Odinga is saying here, there is a chance that they're likely to reveal a lot of details of what really transpired. And for those who follow this channel, one of the challenges which I told you guys Ruto was facing was the fact that as long as Raila Odinga was going to take this battle to the end, Ruto and Chebukati were going to be exposed. And that's why have maintained that William Ruto actually played in the hands of Raila Odinga. And based on this message alone, it means that Raila Odinga is likely to give information which they have. And the most important part of this is that who helped them do it. So which means Raila Odinga is likely to drag the name of the international community who participated in that particular rigging. And that also confirms my fear that the international community will actually pile pressure on Ruto not to harm or not to do anything bad because they are going to be exposed. So that's number two. The mere fact that this event was successful has really motivated Raila Odinga supporters. So basically, it acts as a curtain raiser. And because there has always been this feeling, some of us, like myself, held it, that Raila Odinga ought to have stayed away from politics. And that Raila Odinga supporters were now tired. And Kenyans are now joking that Raila Odinga supporters will rest in heaven, not on earth here. On earth here, they'll only be doing two things: fight for reforms and the struggle. So which means this event is going to act as a curtain raiser. It's going to be used to really mobilize Raila Odinga's supporters. The mere fact that the turnout was huge is enough for Kamukunji rally, which is going to be held. The historic Kamukunji rally is basically going to be massive based on my own estimations. This is now just the curtain raiser. Number three, it also confirms Raila Odinga's seriousness when he talked of this rally. You see, initially when Raila Odinga talked of these consultation meetings, most people thought that Raila Odinga was just talking for the sake of it. And even William Ruto and his brigades were just like, Raila Odinga can just go ahead. There's nothing. But now it shows that Raila Odinga is serious. And that's why people like Rigathi Gachagua can only talk about this rally somewhere in Embu, deep somewhere in Mount Kenya. They can only say that this rally will not take place very far away. None of them is really talking about this rally not happening anywhere near Nairobi. But the rally will take place in Nairobi. William Ruto today was like, okay, we are going to provide security. Just give us your schedule. Why should they ask for schedule when Raila Odinga has told them that my rally will be on this specific date and it will be on this venue or this ground? Why should he go again to before church to tell them that they just need the timetable? Raila Odinga has already told them that on 7th and on 12th tukutane Kamukunji. So if they were to provide security, then Kamukunji Grounds on 7th and on 12th, which means basically that the move by Raila Odinga is causing them serious political headache. And number four, in my view, I think the whole thing, the whole thing also confirms that Ruto actually fell for Raila Odinga trap. Just like I explained in one of my videos, Raila Odinga laid a trap for Ruto. Ruto fell for it. William Ruto will now be talking about Raila Odinga. Today alone, the entire Kenya Kwanza brigades were talking about one man, Raila Amolo Odinga. So, which means Raila Odinga has actually placed himself right at the center of political discourse in the country and is going to move like that for the next 2 or 3 or even 1 month. And that's exactly what Raila Odinga wanted, because Raila Odinga thrives under such environment. William Ruto allowed Raila Odinga or created such environment for Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga is now thriving. So because Ruto fell for it, they are worried. And lastly, the international attention Raila Odinga's rallies are likely to attract. Let's face it, the entire world has their eyes on Ruto. That's the truth. And with the happenings in South Africa, they are now closely following the happenings in Kenya. And because of international attention, William Ruto and his team would not really want negative publicity. But Raila Odinga is likely to start telling Kenyans, because even the world would want to hear Raila Odinga's thoughts about that election. He has avoided it completely. I'm told even the BBC, CNN, and the rest have always tried to interview Raila Odinga without much success. So Raila Odinga will now have the opportunity. He will have the attention of the international community. If, for example, the US are found or will be implicated in this particular story, then it's going to be bad for William Ruto and his team. And lastly, is that it's likely to have an impact on Kenya Kwanza development agenda. You know, when William Ruto came into power, there are so many promises he made to Kenyans. And most of those promises were supposed to be achieved within 100 days. Unfortunately for Ruto, when he took over, the cost of living went up. For example, he increased fuel by close to 20 bob per liter by removing that subsidy. The cost of hunger went up. So he's been hoping and praying that through those tax policies which he initiated, which made the cost to go up, he believed that with the time, everything was going to cool down. Now with Raila Odinga and his demos, of course Raila can sustain them, his development agenda is actually going to be thwarted. I don't know what you think, but for me, if William Ruto is not careful, if he's not careful, if Ruto is not careful, if he's underrating Raila Odinga, because William Ruto has been issuing threats that he's not Uhuru Kenyatta. William Ruto was lucky because he's a product of Moi. That's why he's lucky. He's lucky because Uhuru allowed him. Uhuru allowed Ruto to do whatever he was doing. If anything, Ruto cannot really blame Raila because Ruto himself played opposition politics against Uhuru Kenyatta for 5 good years and he thrived in it. Raila Odinga is going to thrive in opposing William Ruto's government. And there's nothing which William Ruto is going to do. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.